How's it going, everyone? The Monkey coming back at you once again, and today we're going to be discussing Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin Must Die by Grant Morrison with art by Fraser Irving. Let's get into it. Issue starts off with an alternate history of Death on Crime Alley, where in this instance is Martha Wayne and Bruce Wayne. They get gunned down, and Thomas Wayne is left as a sole survivor. And then we see him paying off the killer, and then we cut to Dr. Hurt, or let's just say Thomas Wayne, re-emerging back into society, and he takes over Wayne Manor, but it's really Dr. Hurt, in disguise. Upon arriving at Wayne Manor, Dr. Hurt shoots Dick Grayson in the back of the head. And then we flash forward to 3 days before this, so we can see what led up to this moment. So it's 3 days before, at Batman and Robin. They're at GCPD and they're interrogating the Joker about his time masquerading as Oberon Sexton. Joker tells Batman and Robin that he didn't have to come back as Oberon Sexton, but he was just trying to help them. And he also states that everyone will be caught in the crossfire unless Dick could prove to be as good as his Batman, aka Bruce. Because Joker realizes that his Batman is dead, and he does not like this new Batman and Robin. After this, Dick takes Gordon to the new Bat Bunker, and they discuss the Professor Pig virus that is apparently is lying dormant in people and is awaiting to be triggered. That they got it wrong, and that perhaps the antidote was actually the virus all along, and they gave it to all the citizens of Gotham, so they're just waiting to be activated. And of course, while this is going on, Gordon, he's sneezing, and he realizes that, it's like a common cold or something. So the two of them end up getting a call that Damian has gone to see the Joker by himself. And of course, Damian, he shows up, he locks the door, he starts questioning the Joker, and he eventually starts to beat him with a crowbar. Kind of how, Joker beat to death Jason Todd with the crowbar. So, it's on their way back to GCPD, Gordon and Batman, they get shot down with the flying Batmobile by some of the 99 Fiends, and they crash land in Gotham City, and they're surrounded by Professor Pig's Dolotrons, and we see Professor Pig getting broken out of jail, and that's the end of the first issue. Part 2, The Triumph of Death. Commissioner Gordon gets captured by Pig and Simon Hurt. The Joker, in a struggle with Robin, manages to scratch Robin on his face. The Joker had Joker toxin in his nail polish, causing Robin to, start laughing and go insane and basically be a puppet of the Joker. Professor Pig and Dr. Hurt, they set up a big event going down in Crime Alley. Professor Pig's addiction virus is spread all across Gotham, and Gotham City is fighting itself. And in a shocking turn of events, Batman agrees to team up with the Joker to help take out Simon Hurt and Professor Pig. So at this big event that Professor Pig and Simon Hurt are throwing, someone supplies popcorn to the event, and the popcorn is, of course, laced with Joker toxin because the Joker himself provided the popcorn. And it causes some of the people there to start laughing themselves. Not necessarily to death, but, the effects of Joker toxin. And Professor Hurt is like, who supplied the popcorn? What's going on? Batman swoops in, and he attempts to save Commissioner Gordon, but he doesn't realize that Gordon is already under the control of Professor Pig. So Gordon ends up attacking Batman, and that ends the issue. This leads us to part 3, The Night, Death, and the Devil. Joker takes Robin to Wayne Manor, and he sets him loose. He goes on to rescue Commissioner Gordon from Professor Pig, but he ends up ultimately getting overwhelmed by the 99 Fiends. This is where the comic catches up to the beginning of the first issue, where Dr. Hurt shoots Dick Grayson in the back of the head, but we find out that he does so with a non-lethal pellet that's designed to cause like blood clots and nerve issues with Dick's spine, which will leave him paralyzed unless he gets medical attention right away. And of course, Dr. Hurt will save Dick Grayson, but all he needs is Damien's soul in exchange. Because remember, he believes himself to be the devil. Of course, Damien says he doesn't believe in souls, and why would he? The kid's basically manufactured. He's like a Frankenstein. Every time he gets destroyed, he gets put back together. Why would he believe in souls, right? And just before the ceremony could go down, the secret bat box that Dick found in the hidden room of Wayne Manor that was placed there by Bruce Wayne when he went back in time and guarded by the Miyagani bad people all these eons or whatever, finally opens up. Remember Dr. Hurt, he wanted to open the box all the way back in the Jonah Hex issue of The Return of Bruce Wayne, but he couldn't do it. But here it opens up, and he sees what's inside, and Batman, Bruce Wayne, he joins the battle. It's like a regular episode of Smash Brothers here. That leads us to the next issue, which I believe is titled Black Mass, but I forgot to write it down, so I'm not sure on that one. Starts off with Batman, and Robin taking on the 99 Fiends. Who's going to win? We find out that ultimately El Penitente was just an alias of Dr. Hurt that he was using to siphon money from Wayne Enterprises and fund his crimes. So El Penitente, he's not, well, I guess he technically did show up, but I was expecting like a different character, and he never shows. But it was Hurt all along. Dr. Hurt, he manages to escape from the initial battle, and as Bruce Wayne is chasing him down, Dr. Hurt lets Bruce know that he's got Alfred captured somewhere, so Bruce has to make a decision. Does he go to save Alfred, or does he finally finish his business with Hurt? Bruce ultimately goes on to save Alfred, and Hurt escapes, or so Bruce thinks. Because as Simon Hurt is climbing out of the cave system, he runs into the Joker. And the Joker buries him alive after infecting him with Joker toxin. So, is that the end of Hurt? It is for now, at least. And of course, here, after Joker does his business with Hurt, Bruce, as Batman, catches up to the Joker and takes him out because he has some unfinished business with the Joker. And so Bruce is back. And so what does he do? He calls a press conference and he announces that it is he, Bruce Wayne, who has been funding Batman all these years, and he announces the new initiative, Batman Incorporated, where there will be a Batman all around the world, in every country. And that leads us into Batman The Return, Planet Gotham, by Grant Morrison, with art by David Finch. Let's get into it. Issue starts off with Batman saving some kid in the Middle East from like a suicide bomber or whatever. And when Batman gets back on the ground with this kid, the father, he's so grateful for Batman saving his son, because his son is his whole life. He's like, Batman, what can I do to thank you? And Batman says, don't worry about it, because you're next. Ooh, mysterious. So we cut back to Bruce Wayne. He's in the Batcave. He summons the Bat family, and he gives them all their new assignments. This guy just comes back from the dead, and he's right back to work. No rest for the weary or wicked. That doesn't really apply here. But anyway, Batman, he's just back on the streets. He ain't taking no days off. So after acquiring some new Iron Man rocket suits for Batman and Robin, Bruce Wayne and Damian, they fly over to Yemen so they can check out this facility that was being used to create super soldiers, and the super soldiers would fight it out to see which super soldier was indeed the superest of the super soldiers. And when they get there, Damian discovers this Middle Eastern Batman lookalike guy. And this Middle Eastern Batman lookalike says that he knows Damian, and Damian will soon come to know him. And then he flies away. But of course, Damian puts a tracker on him, so. And Bruce Wayne, he's all bent out of shape because Damian disobeyed his orders, and he says that he and Damian will never work as Batman and Robin. So of course this causes Damian to like attempt to run away and abandon his mission with the Bat family, but Dick Grayson sticks up for him, and Bruce decides that from now on, Dick Grayson will be Batman in Gotham, and his Robin will be Damian Wayne, while Bruce as Batman will go global. Now we find out why Bruce is ultimately hitting the ground running here is because he saw something while he was away that's so bad that he's got to prevent it. And the only way he can prevent it is by setting up Batman all across the world that are going to go up against crime. They're going to fight the idea of crime with the idea of Batman. Uh, so we'll just have to see how this goes. And of course, there's a new villainous organization in town known as Leviathan. We see that the Middle Eastern Batman guy is part of that group. And to close out the issue here, the son of that Middle Eastern guy that Batman rescued at the beginning of the issue, he's ordered to kill his father by the leader of Leviathan. And he does so because all hail Leviathan. So what's up with that? We're going to have to keep reading Batman Incorporated to find out. As for what I thought of this volume, I thought it was pretty good. After having read Time of the Batman and Return of Bruce Wayne, it was good to get back into the real action here. With Dick and Damian. I thought it was interesting how they teamed up with the Joker to take on the Black Glove and Simon Hurt. It made sense because Joker was going around the globe killing all the members of the Black Glove, and Simon Hurt was like the last one left. And of course, he was proving too much for Batman and Robin. So Joker teams up with him because his Batman was dead, and Joker he had a line here somewhere where he's like, "Oh, the ultimate joke is when Batman's dead, the Joker's gonna be the good guy and he's gonna fight crime." And of course, Batman then shows up and punches him out after he says that. But yeah, just seeing a different side of the Joker here, him being the one to ultimately kill Simon Hurt and bury him alive there on the property in Wayne Manor. Thought it was pretty good. I didn't really see it coming, but I read this before and I forgot what happened. But that was interesting. It was also interesting that Batman, never got to take him out. So in that sense, the story was, kind of like not. I don't want to say incomplete, but you really wanted to see, Bruce get his hands on Doctor Simon Hurt, and it just doesn't happen. So you're left blue balled, like, but at least Joker got him right. Uh, as far as Batman, like the return issue, Planet Gotham, I kind of wish Bruce would have took a moment to calm down, recuperate, I guess, after his ordeal. But like I said, he hits the ground running here, and he gives all the Bat family new assignments, uh, and he's like going global, and it's kind of an aggressive start for Bruce being back. The new Bat suit, for example, it's a short-lived Bat suit. I don't really got much to say about it. I like the oval is back. But I don't like there's no trunks. I don't like the costumes with no trunks. I feel like the trunks are iconic. You gotta have them. As far as like Leviathan, the new enemy, is concerned, uh, I remember a little bit about him. Just reading the issue, looking at the guy's face, the mastermind. I kind of think I know who it is, but I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong. But I'm gonna, of course, keep reading here. We got like what, 2 trades of Batman Incorporated, and that's the end of Grant's run. It goes into the new 52, but I'm just gonna read it, as is. I don't care. I'm just gonna, break my rule and just read the new 52 part before I actually get to the new 52, just so I can wrap up Grant's run here while it's all still fresh in my mind. I don't have to wait, months and months and months. So I think I know who it is, but I guess I'll see when I get there. As far as Dick and Damian still being Batman and Robin here in Gotham, I like the decision, even though it's going to be short lived. There's only like one more trade of Batman and Robin before the new 52, so. And I never read that. It's going to be fresh territory for me. Because, back when I was reading the issues month to month, I could really only afford to buy so many, so I followed like Grant's issues. And especially at this time, like a lot of like, Batman by Tony Daniel and stuff was like filler content all because all the heavy hitters were writing stories for the new 52, so this was sort of like a dead period. It was hard to justify buying the books that didn't matter, you know. So I'm gonna be covering all those coming up here, and fresh territory for me. So we'll see what happens. I know Scott Snyder in his Black Mirror story is coming up, and that's where he got his start. And I read that, but I'm gonna reread it, of course. But as far as this volume's concerned, it was a little short, you know, 4 issues to tie up the Batman and Robin. You had like the Black Mask issue and then the Return. So overall, it's gonna be a 5 out of 5. Shocking no one. Uh, Good stuff. A conclusion that you don't necessarily see coming. You don't really get that resolution that you wanted with Bruce getting his hands on Simon Hurt. But I guess Joker doing it is just as good, depending on how you feel about it. So like I said, 5 out of 5. Would recommend. Until next time, see you there.